Good morning, class. Today we will be revising the topic tenses again. Tenses is a word derived from the Latin word tempus, which means time. So, tenses means what? Time, right? So, tenses is the form in which a verb is used to express and when an action is was or will be performed. So through tenses, like we will be knowing get that when that particular action will be taking place, whether it will be taking place in the future or it will be there in the present or has been taken in the past. So based on time frame, that is when the action is taking place, we can divide or categorize tenses in three different types. That is the present tense, the past tense, and the future tense. So tenses, they are further divided in three parts. That is the present tense, past tense, and future tense. So these particular three tenses, they are further divided into four parts. So let's start with the first tense, that is the present tense. So we are doing simple present tense or present indefinite tense. So what regular action, simple tense, right? Regular action, a habit, customs, or are like what we are into. The general facts or the universal facts, for that we are using simple present tense. For habits, we can state example, I watch television on Sunday. So that is a habit. She gets up every morning at 6 o'clock. That's her habit, right? Regular action. For general fact or for universal truth, we can say that earth revolves around the sun. The sun rises in the east. These are what? The general facts, right? So what we are using, the structure is what? The subject plus first form of verb, right? So I, you, we, they. This is what? The plural subject. So we are taking the first form of verb. Then is continuous tense, present continuous tense. So action happening now or around. So this is what describes an action in progress, which is there in action. She is playing tennis. So she is doing what? Playing. So that is there. It is present. Presently there happening, right? So changing situation. For change in situation, we are using continuous tense. And action which we are planning for future, we are using the continuous tense. Just like the wedding is going to take place, going to takes place, is going to, that is the first form of verb, and ing we are using this. Continuous is so ing, right? So I am going to attend the class tomorrow. Next is perfect, present perfect tense. The action happened at an unstated time in the past. So this can be, I have already used this brand of soap and this will continue, right? So the action was started in the past tense, but it is still going on and will continue in the near future. So I have already used this brand of soap. And even we can state that action happened at a specific period and which is not over. So she has just taken tea. I have purchased a book. And next is perfect continuous tense. Action started in the past, lasted for some time, and the results are visible now. So action which began in the past time and the action is over and the result can be seen. So we are using have been doing. They have been staying in the village for a long time. Or it had been raining since last night. So we are using these different structures for present tense. Next is past tense, simple past tense. So simple past tense, past indefinite or simple past tense indicate an action at a definite time in the past, which happened in the past, right? So we closed the shop, happened in the past. So we are using ed, right? Close. We closed the shop at 8 p.m. Then she met me last year. Even we are using past tense to indicate past habits. Third point. Past habits that are now finished. We are not doing that thing. She used to drink tea in the morning. That was a habit, but now it is not going on. Then we are using which the action which has started in the past, but one after the another. First, she paid the driver and then she got out of the taxi. And we are using simple past tense when we are speaking of the dead person. Charles Dickens lived, ed, right? Did form in, right? Lived. Next is past continuous tense. So we are using this which action which was progress at a stated time in the past. So action जो past में शुरू हुआ था. At 7 o'clock yesterday, they were having dinner. Past में, right? Then the action which was in progress when another action happened. He was walking down the street when he came across an old friend. A action was in progress, he was walking down the street. Then another action took place. That is, he came across an old friend. So next is perfect, past perfect tense. To indicate an action that was completed before a definite time. एक time से पहले ही खत्म हो गया था. In the past. Money reached here after you had gone. She had already finished her work by 7 o'clock. It also indicates the desire in the past that have not been fulfilled. जो you were having want or desire but वो खत्म नहीं हुआ, वो fulfill नहीं हुआ, sorry. I wish I had not wasted my time. I wish I had learned swimming. So that is your desire in the past. Next is past perfect continuous tense. To indicate an action which began in the past and continued up to a certain point of time in the past. Past में ही शुरू हुआ था, past के कुछ time तक वो action it was there in progress. Just like when we met in Lucknow, she had been studying in City College for 3 years. So past में एक action चला, उसके बाद it continued till a certain point of time in the past. Then the rule is what? The subject plus had been and the first form of verb and ing because it is continuous. Chala tha wo. Next is future tense. Future simple or future indefinite tense. To say what we believe or think will happen in future, right? We are thinking that thing, we are predicting that thing. Next is on the spot decision if we are taking, right? Instant decision. It is our first marriage anniversary. I shall give you a precious gift. Instant, on the spot decision, right? Things which we cannot control or are factual. जिस पे हमारा कोई हाथ ही नहीं है, right? So we are using simple continuous tense. Just like the sun will rise at 6 a.m. Will. We cannot control that thing, right? So the rule is what? Subject plus second form, subject that would be the second person or the third person plus the first form of verb, and before that we will be using will. Will rise, right? Then if we are using the first person, then shall. I and with we are using shall, and then the first form of verb. He will sell his house. I shall purchase a new car. Next is what? Future continuous tense. So the first is to indicate an action that will occur in the normal course. जो हमारा normal जो हमारा scenario है, जो conditions होती है, we are doing that thing. He will be cooking the food tomorrow. I will be meeting him tomorrow. So that is our general course of action. To indicate an action that will be in progress at a given point of time in the future. कि इस time पे ये काम होगा. In the future we are saying. by tomorrow, by today, by 5 p.m., by 5 a.m. That is. At this time tomorrow, that is at 8 p.m. tomorrow, we shall be attending the party. So at this particular time. Or we shall be going to zoo, we shall be visiting the zoo, or we shall be going to the zoo at 11 a.m. tomorrow. That is what action जो कल के लिए हमने specify कर दिया. Next is future perfect tense. Action that will be finished before a stated time in the future. एक point तक वो action खत्म हो जाएगा, will be completed. I shall have finished this work by 5 p.m. or by tomorrow. They will have reached home by the evening. Will have. So last one is future perfect continuous tense. It describes an action that will be in progress over a period of time that will end in the future. थोड़े time तक that action will be there, it will be going on, and in the future it will end. At noon, Anuradha will have been singing songs for an hour. So future में progress में है, continuous में है, और future में ही खत्म होगा. Will have been we are using for this. I shall have been working round the clock for 22 years next. 22 years next April. Next April for 22 years. It's been 22 years that I have been working. So the rule is what? The structure is what? For the affirmative one, the subject plus will have been and first form and the ing. Will or shall depending upon the subject. So I hope that it is clear, the glimpses are clear to you for all the tenses. So let's start with the exercise. Like just go through so that you can do it easily at your home. So first is the present tense. So filling the blanks with correct form of the verb. First is they dash a coal. That is what their general thing is. So accordingly you will be filling up. She dashed up at 7. This is a habit. So habit, we are using what? We dash breakfast at 8. This is again our habit. Peter dashed to school. Habit. Our teacher dashed in Oxford Street. Again the habit. Eric and Tom dash blue shirts. This is a general fact. The girls often dash a book. This is again what? The general fact. Anna dash home at 2. This is again the general fact. So accordingly, I guess now you will be able to fill up the answers. Next is we have to fill in the blanks or the gaps with either the present perfect simple or present perfect continuous. So I am exhausted. I dash in the garden all day. So this is what? I dash in the garden all day. Work. Next is that old house now looks fantastic. The owners dash completely dash it. So the owners, they have done something, right? So progression. Next is my garden's a jungle. My garden is a jungle. I dash any gardening for months. This we have to do in negative, not in affirmative sense. The negative structure should be there. So I was doing not. We have to use do. I think Maggie and Max are dating. They dash a lot of each other recently. So again, what? Progression is there. I have to write a 300-word essay. I dash about half so far. Again, the progression. So I hope that you will be able to do this thing, this exercise. Next is the past tense. This we have to change the sentences from affirmative to the negative one. So for the negative, we are using was not or were not, right? So you were tired last night. We are using what? was not or were not in the negative structure. These doors were closed. The man was a stranger to her. There were 10 new words in the lesson. They were both Americans. Best was an old friend of the family. You were a happy child. Next question is filling the blanks with the appropriate form of the verb. So we are doing the past tense, so accordingly we will be filling. First is we dash in our garden all day yesterday. Work. Progression. I dashed to the stereo until 12 o'clock last night. Again, the progression. We both dashed the movies last night very much. We dashed television until 11 o'clock last night. Progression. I dash your letter on my way to work. I have done something. What? So the last one is the future tense. Filling the blanks with appropriate verb. The train dashed at 11:45 p.m. Then is we dashed dinner at a nice restaurant on Saturday, but we haven't booked a table yet. Hint is written in this, but we haven't. So accordingly, you will be filling the first blank. My sky instructor believes it dash in the mountains tomorrow evening. This is snow. This is not show, this is snow. Error is there. Right. So my sky instructor, he believes it that dash in the mountains tomorrow evening to snow. Tomorrow. Right. Kya hoga? They dash to London on Friday evening at 8:15. So what they will be doing, that you have to fill. Next is when I dash to the party, Celine dog dash. John dash drinks. Sue and Frank dash something controversial. And Mary dash about something unimportant. They are always doing the same things. They are so predictable. So I hope that through last two lines we can fill in these gaps. So thank you, class.